Hi, my name is Joe, and recently I've made the decision that I'd love to learn to play the piano. I looked on Google and I searched on YouTube and I came across a channel called Pianote, and they offer online course videos on their website, and so I was subscribed for a year, and I thought it'd be nice to make some progress videos each week just to kind of document my process. My progress, and be able to look back on and see how much I've improved. So, yeah, one of the first things that I learned was basic note timing. So, like quarter notes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Eighth notes are more like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and whole notes which last for a 4 count, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The second thing that I went on to learn was the major scale. So C major is probably the easiest scale to learn because it's just all the white notes really. So yeah, I'll run through that. And with my left hand. And then together. And then maybe a bit faster. So yeah, once I'd learnt that, I'm pretty sure the next video was about chords. So your basic chord is like your first finger, your third finger, and your fifth finger, or the first, third and fifth of the scale degree. So in C major, the first chord is C, E, G, and yeah, so that's your basic triad. It's called a triad. And it's the same in my left hand. And then you learn to move these up and down the scale. So it's just moving one note up in the scale each time. So. And left hand. And then both together maybe. After that, went on to breaking up the chords, so you play the first, the third and the fifth kind of separate from each other. So, and then again you can walk this up and down the scale. So. Left hand. And together. Yeah, and then just to make it a bit more challenging, they recommended maybe playing a broken chord with one hand and a solid chord with the other. So this is broken in the right hand and solid in the left hand, and then you can walk that up the scale. So. And I'll do it the other way as well. Yeah. And then, once I got those up to a tempo that was decent, I think the tempo that you're aiming for in the videos is probably about 90 BPM. Once you're pretty comfy at 90, then you can move on to like your first chord progression. So they use C, F, G, G, C, F, G, G, and then using the root note, the first of each chord in your left hand, just kind of support the chord in your right hand. So. Or breaking the chord up, so. Yeah, and then they especially recommended that you just play around with it, so you can play any scale degree and just try and make a four chord progression. So playing around with it, I quite, instead of like playing two G's at the end, I quite liked going back down to F, the fourth scale degree. So F, G, F, C, F, G, F. And I quite liked going up for A for two counts. So and yeah, I just take a bit of time to say the kind of struggles that I had. With this being my first week, my hands weren't very like dexterous and strong. They're getting a bit better now, but in the beginning it really made between my fingers ache. And so I'm trying to do 30 minutes a day of practicing, but I found that any more than that was like probably a bit too much. But yeah, that's what I'm going to keep it to, 30 minutes. But after probably 3 or 4 days, my hands stopped hurting so much while I was practicing. Another thing was, during the scales, when you're playing them one-handed, it's quite easy. So. Oh, I messed up, sorry. Because you notice you've got 5 fingers on the keyboard, but there's well, you're playing 8 notes in the scale. So after the third, you have to tuck your thumb under. so you can get back up to the next C in the next octave. And when you're coming back down, you have to kind of like step over with your middle finger, so. And you have to do the same with your left hand, so when you get to G, you have to step over, and then when you get down to A, sorry, you have to tuck your thumb under. And when I was doing this on my left hand, I'd tuck my thumb, but then for some reason I'd forget to play my index finger, and I'd play my middle finger on the F, and then I wouldn't have the finger to get down to C. So that was another thing that I encountered. But after a couple of days of like taking it really slowly and like forcing myself to play that index finger after I'd like tucked my thumb under, it started to click in my brain. And probably another thing I struggled with was when you're playing at the same time, your hands do different things at different times. So my right hand, my thumb tucks here, but my left hand carries on just as normal. And then when I get up to G going to A, my left middle finger has to come over. And same on the way back down, my thumb tucks on my left hand, but I carry on playing normally with my right. Oh, sorry. I hope that was a bit clearer the second time I played it. But yeah, taking it slow, maybe starting at 55 BPM like in the videos, and maybe adding like 5 to 10 BPM at a time, just so it's a bit of a challenge, but not too quick. Kind of help with that. And eventually, after a couple of days, it clicked, and you just do it without thinking. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll be back this time next week with my second week of progress. Thanks for watching.